Hey folks, this is a PlayStation 5 controller, and this is the Backbone Controller PlayStation Edition. And what you do is you get this product, you plug your iPhone into it, no Bluetooth required, and you can play your entire PlayStation library on your phone. Now, in fact, you can do that anyway, but trying to do so with touch controls is a bit of a nightmare. With this in place, you are effectively using what I call a PlayStation Switch. That's my theory anyway. Let's see how it actually works out. This is not a sponsored video. I bought this with my own money, and we're going to see how it works today. I'm going to be going over the good and the bad. So let's unbox and see what my initial impressions are of the actual design of the product itself. Right then, so you've got the made for iPhone logo here, indicating that your Android phone is not going to work in this particular model. But what's really striking is this PlayStation logo. The fact that this is a PlayStation branded product despite being a third-party accessory. That is something that I don't think Sony would do lightly, and hopefully indicates the quality of the product here. Or perhaps it just means that Sony are getting a big cut from licensing fees. Anyway, getting inside the box here, we have the product itself. Okay, and that's situated behind some quick start instructions, which I'll show you in a moment. This is an adapter for the iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 Pro, which I won't be needing. Okay, so these are the quick start instructions, and the only thing you really need to take away from this is that when you're putting your phone into the Backbone product, you need to insert it into the left-hand side first before you put it into the right-hand side with the connector. And I suppose that's important because you don't want to bend that thing out of shape, otherwise you pretty much bricked the whole device. Now, overall, I like the aesthetic of this product. The PlayStation design, I think, works really, really well with this. And it does feel like it's fairly robust and good quality. One thing I was taken aback by a little bit is that the whole thing was a little bit smaller than I was expecting. And I'll just put it next to the PS5 controller here so you can see it compared. It's not big at all. Now, I don't have large hands, but even so, this felt like I'm going to need to be really bending my thumbs in order to use these analog sticks. And I just feel that if some of you have larger hands than I do, then it's not going to take long until you're really starting to feel the ache from doing that. And that brings me to another point as well. I'm a little bit surprised that for the PlayStation Backbone branding, we've still got the old Xbox style layout with the one analog stick being higher up than the other, because on the PlayStation controller, of course, that isn't the case. So yeah, I thought they might have redesigned that, but it is what it is. So here are my other controllers, and as you can see, the Backbone is most similar, in my opinion, to the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. So if you are okay with those, if you know how they feel, you'll be okay with this. If you struggle with the Joy-Cons, you are going to struggle with the Backbone as well. And folks, if you are enjoying my review of the Backbone 1 PlayStation Edition, then please do consider subscribing to my YouTube channel just to be notified of future content. We're well over 60,000 subscribers now, and thank you so much to everybody that has been a part of this YouTube journey so far. First time setup, dead easy. Just make sure you've downloaded the Backbone app, and when you plug your phone in for the first time, it will automatically bring up the setup instructions so that you can set up your account. And once you've done this, it is going to want to force you to sign up to the Backbone Plus subscription. Now, here's the thing. You get a year's free of this subscription, 365 days. But after that, you are going to be charged, at least here in the UK, £45 a year, or £7-something a month. Now, with your paid subscription, you are going to get a number of additional features that I don't find all that exciting, if I'm honest with you. That's going to include free trials to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, along with Discord Nitro, and Backbone also say you will be getting free in-game items, though I was unsure exactly what the specifics about that was. And you'll have the ability to use party chat and messaging with your friends who also have the Backbone app as well, but presumably they are too going to require the subscription. Now, without the subscription, the app doesn't do a whole lot. You will be able to use it to update the firmware on the controller, but honestly, that's about it. But it doesn't really matter because the full functionality comes from the other apps you download anyway. Whether that's for PlayStation Remote Play, for the Xbox Remote Play, or for Steam Link, or if you just want to use other Apple games that you've installed on your phone with the controller that have controller support, you can do all of that without the Backbone Plus subscription. And in my opinion, I get why Backbone have a subscription model here for their app, but I don't think that the features you get with that subscription are really worth it when you compare it to the price that's being asked for. And the backbone does expand so that it can fit any iPhone model that you have, and it is compatible with everything from the iPhone 6s upwards. Somewhat annoyingly, this thing has pretty much a zero tolerance for cases. I use the official Apple case for my iPhone, which is not that thick. It's actually quite thin. And even with that, I cannot have my iPhone in the backbone one when it is in its case. So I have to fanny about taking it out of its case every time I want to use this thing. And honestly, depending on the case that you want to use, it could be a bit of a deal breaker for you. Okay, it has been a couple of days since I last recorded, just to make sure that I really had opportunity to push the Backbone 1 PlayStation Edition through its paces. And most of the time I've been using this thing, it has been combined with the remote play option with my PS5. But again, you're not limited to that. Despite the PlayStation branding, this also works with your Xbox streaming and with Steam Link, and just with any Apple Arcade or any Apple game that also has controller support. And something else I do want to bring up in terms of the design, on the bottom of the controller you have your headphone jack, which is very helpful, and you also have this lightning jack as well. Now this lightning port is not to charge this doesn't actually need charging, since the power that it needs, it just gets from your phone when it's connected. Instead, this is a pass-through port, there it is, pass-through port, so that you can charge your phone as well as using it in the Backbone one at the same time. So yeah, another neat feature, and I'm pretty glad that that's been included. So after using this for a couple of days, despite those shortcomings that I've already spoken about, I am happy with this product. Yes, indeed, there are a few things I would have liked to have seen done differently, and despite the PlayStation branding, this definitely is not a PlayStation 5 controller. Now, I never expected it to be, and I don't think any of you watching this would expect this product to be a PlayStation 5 controller in terms of how it feels to hold, how it feels to play. It just isn't. That said, it does still feel like a premium product. And the fact that you can connect directly to the lightning port here, there's no requirement for Bluetooth, it just makes the whole process much more simple. Whenever you want to do a little bit of gaming, you just plug your phone in and straight away you are good to go. Just tapping the little orange button down here will bring up the Backbone app if you want to use that, or you can just open whatever remote play app or game you want to play and it will just work straight away. And one additional feature with this pass-through port down here is if you use a lightning cable, you can connect to this port and then you can actually play on your Apple device, even an iPad, without it being connected into the body of the controller itself. It will still function as a controller if you want to keep your device separate. So obviously you're not going to fit your iPad into this, but you can still use this as a controller for your iPad if you set your iPad up on a table and just connect it via the cable here to that port. And again, that's another wonderful feature. So the hardware does have a couple of misses, unfortunately, but in my view, there are also a good number of hits that does make it worthwhile. But again, if you do have hands on the larger side, then try and get a feel for it before you commit to purchase. Maybe hold some Joy-Cons if you have some, just to remind yourself how they feel, or borrow some off a friend, because this thing does feel quite similar. On the other hand, the software, I'm not a big fan of the Backbone app, if I'm going to be honest with you. I just don't feel that it offers enough to justify the subscription. I mean, the first perk they list with their subscription is the fact that you get a free trial to Xbox and to Discord. I'm pretty sure you can just get those free trials anyway. I mean, that's the whole point of them. They're trials to try and push you to subscribe to those services. So why they are being advertised as part of the paid subscription for the Backbone app just seems kind of strange to me. And again, just points to the fact that they're not really offering all that much. So ultimately, is the Backbone one worthy of the price that's been asked for it? Well, in my opinion, yes, it can be. Okay, now it all depends on the type of gaming you want to do. If you're going to be away from home and you are going to want to do a lot of mobile gaming, then I think this is going to be a great buy. On the other hand, I wouldn't just purchase this as a gimmick, as you are probably going to find that some of the hassle involved, such as taking your phone out of its case, etc., and the fact that the controller is just a lot less comfortable to hold than the official PlayStation controller, means that you just won't be using it all that much. But that's my thoughts, and as always, I'm very interested in hearing yours. So have you ever used any of these Backbone controllers? If so, please let us know what you think of them down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel to be notified of future content. And a massive thank you and shout out to everybody who's been supporting the channel as YouTube members or patrons. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I hope the video has been helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.